Real talk, the metaphor messiah, man. I got this one. Let's go. You ever seen the morning star? Mr. Metaphor Messiah, back to show you who we are. I represent a legacy, a pothead like the 70s, a different kind of mind. They say we only speak in melodies.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Dead on Dave, coming at you live from Germany for your Dead on Dave live of the evening. What is it, Tuesday? Tuesday, May 30th? Yeah, I'm going to start putting the dates in there so you guys know what's going on, so you know what time it is. It is time for Dead on Dave Live, and we got a special little show today. A lot of stuff I want to talk about, but mainly I'm going to focus on YouTube, something you guys do want to hear more about. I hear that from you guys quite often. There is a YouTube story that I want to talk about, and that is YouTube in and of itself. See, YouTube's changing once again, and that's what it's done since the beginning, the day that it started. YouTube is unique. It always has been. The way that it changed, the way that ebbs and flows, the way that people come to YouTube, what they do on YouTube. YouTube was once just the land of cat videos and frivolous content. And then one day, it started to become a major force of media. People started using it to get their news, their information, all their love, everything that they knew that was going on. They started going away from television and radio and books and all these things. They just started spending more and more time on YouTube to the point to where it is now. It's challenging mainstream media in a way that nothing ever else has. It's never happened. So it's had challenges and ebbs and flows that no other form of media has ever had to deal with, because no other form of media has ever been as open form as YouTube. It's been this entity all of into itself. It's been interesting, and it's been difficult. It's been trying. It's been a follow the money cash grab very, very many times throughout the course of its history. And we see it a lot within different communities. Depending on the community, we see trends and fads and people chasing what's going to be making money for them at the time. And most of the time, I don't have a problem with it. Everyone freaks out about everything that's going on right now with the fidget spinner. I have no problem with what's going on with the fidget spinner because it's just another fad. If people want to try to find ways to make money off that fad without actually just buying and selling these things, well, I'm okay with that. It's completely fine, because I do believe that there's an ass for every seat. I believe there's a yin for every yang. I believe there's a hole for every penis. That is what I believe in. It tends to be true. Choice is not a bad thing ever to have. But what can be bad is when something becomes bastardized so much that simply nobody has fun anymore. YouTube has become this place, especially in the commentary community, where fun has just fallen into abyss. There is no fun anymore. The fun's gone. It's just been expelled from YouTube. Everybody's miserable. Everybody's fighting with each other. Everybody's just scrounging for the next fad. Nobody seems to be enjoying shit anymore. Well, that is until the adpocalypse happened. See, the adpocalypse is kind of one of the biggest blessings YouTube's ever had, because it scared a lot of people off who have just kind of gone and chase that money to go look for greener pastures. Now, there's been those who have remained, and it's taken a little bit of time, but some of them have decided to kind of push forward and start doing something they haven't done in a very long time. Let's have fun. Finding ways to keep things interesting for themselves. Going back to things that they wanted to do when they first started, but they were so afraid of not gaining a following or losing the following that they had, or simply not making the money that they were accustomed to anymore. One video on YouTube that goes awry could end your career like that nowadays. You get the right guys on Drama Alert or Scarce or somebody like that pegging you in a certain light. It's done. It's over. You piss off the wrong group within the commentary community, your career is done. It's fear that keeps people in check, but not in a good way. Because when you're so worried about the other entities within YouTube, you forget to have fun. And now, once again, going back to the adpocalypse, it's given people an avenue and a reason to just go for fun. One of the things that I've always said on my channel is that I do this mainly because it makes me happy. Never really made a whole lot of money onto it. You guys do donate to the channel and you support on Patreon, and you have made this a little bit more lucrative for me. You give them a little bit more meat on the bone. But even when I joined Catch 33, I didn't start chasing the headlines. Why? Because if this isn't fun for me, there's no fucking reason to do it. None. And I think people forgot about that. You get blinded by so many things. And that's why it's kind of refreshing to see a whole lot of people who gained a massive following on YouTube and in social media going after one certain way, now we're seeing them blossom into a different way. Look at my good friend Tommy C. Tommy C, for the first 4 or 5 years of his YouTube life, was just in hockey land. It was passion. It was love. It's what he wanted to do. He fought with the people in the same way there than he does now. Nothing has changed the way that Tommy does his presentations. It's the exact same show it used to be. The topics have changed. Why? He caught a piece of success. Success he was never expecting to have. And with that success brought stress. And you could tell for a good period of time towards the end debated how miserable things were becoming for him. Shows got a little bit harder to watch for a period of time because there was so much stress going on. Now, that stress is alleviated. That stress has kind of gone away. So now Tommy C is one of these guys who is genuinely having a good time on YouTube. And you could tell. Look what he just did. He just laughed at a bunch of flat earthers for 30 minutes. The guy's just having fun. And that's when the best content is created, is when you're loose and you're not worried about all the restrictions and possibilities and fear of what's going on around you. When you're comfortable, when you're balanced, when you're simply having fun. Other guys like that I've been noticing recently, and even more refreshing because while Tommy got to 36,000 subs, there are guys like I'm Alex and Chubbs became very big YouTubers doing a certain style. Kind of mean at times, some people would call it. And now lately, their comedic stylings have changed, especially I'm Alex. I'm Alex the last few weeks especially. He's streaming more. He's having more fun. He's doing more podcast style oriented streams. His videos have taken a different tone as far as comedic timing goes. He's still the same guy, but there's you can just see smile is being brought to his face in a different way. It's interesting. It's refreshing. And the thing that's dangerous about talking about people having fun on YouTube is the extremes of YouTube. It seems to most people YouTube either has to be a cesspool or it has to be super positive happy land. Has to be one or the other because you're so afraid of being called anything else. You know, you either have to be a guy who just constantly fucking sucks the dick of everyone around you and talks about how great life is until you get exposed for being a dirtbag yourself. Or you have to be somebody who does nothing but attack everybody around you because that's the way that you think YouTube is supposed to be. Being critical and mean-spirited about things is the only way that you're ever going to get anything done. It's the only way you're going to get noticed, and maybe that's just who you are, and you're giving yourself an excuse to be that person to a big load of people. Or maybe you're just a victim of circumstance. Maybe you're just a victim of the system that's around you because people have gained so many subs and money and fame and crossed over to other platforms by being this way. You could be that way. There's no reason for you not to. So now you have this breeding ground for false positivity and false negativity. So what's left? Where's the middle ground? The middle ground is simply just doing what the fuck you want. The middle ground is simply just having fun. And for the first time, maybe throughout his entire time that I've been watching I'm Alex, I feel like he's having fun. I feel like he's truly enjoying it. And it's fucking wonderful to watch. I think he's making the best content that he's ever made right this second. It was so cool to see him get his golden play button today. That was really cool. Getting his play button from YouTube. It seems the timing was appropriate. Could have came anytime, but it came after he's changed the way that he looks at things. Being easier to smile, easier to laugh, might sound like super gay to some people out there. It's not the worst thing to be. It doesn't mean being fake. Unfortunately, that becomes so easily correlated that people are afraid to even be happy on YouTube most of the time. But here's the thing about misery and sadness and train wrecks and calling people out. Eventually it gets fucking boring. And same thing goes for positivity, ultra positivity. There's only so many ways that you could spin the same thing over and over and over and over. Much like a fidget spinner. It gets boring after a while. It gets repetitive. That calming, soothing feeling that you get from hearing those same platitudes over and over kind of diminishes over time. Just like watching that little spinner gets a little bit hollow after a while. Kind of an interesting way to think about it. Same thing happens with negativity. Car crashes are always interesting to watch until you see the body pop out of the car, until it gets a little bit too real. Now, you'll have people with stronger stomachs who'll be able to watch for longer periods of time, but even them, they only have so much of a stomach they can only take for so long. So what does it leave? It leaves the fun. That's all that's really left is a balance. And that's what fun is. When you're most having fun in your life, most of the time, you're not worrying about the fear. You're not worrying about the ultra positivity. You're not even worried about the negativity. You're simply worried about what's making you happy at the moment. For me, recently, it's been playing Pokemon. It's been opening Pokemon cards during the day. I wake up in the morning at 7 o'clock, get my daughter off to school, have a cup of coffee, go take Pokemon Go walk for 2 to 3 hours, come back here, play Pokemon with you guys, open up my cards. Now, I almost didn't do it. I almost stopped it before it started because I was worried about how the people that have been subbed to my channel for a while, and most importantly, the big super chunk of people that came over to my channel from the Catch 33 burst, how they'd respond, how they'd react, would they unsub me? I kind of got over it over time because why live for other people? They're going to unsub me. They're going to unsub me. Really, there's nothing I can do. A lot of the subs that I got from Catch 33 were really just superficial subs anyway. Probably never watched a video that I made. So why keep living for that? Why not live for myself? Why not have a little bit of fun? And the reality is it's growing. People are starting to dig to it more. And I was able to do that without changing my content at night. Now, sometimes people have to go to a little bit more of extreme to be able to accomplish that. Sometimes they have to change everything. Sometimes they got to make a complete remodel, not only in how they deliver things, but how they present everything on their channel. And that can be difficult in and of itself too, because you have to risk alienating everything you've gotten to the moment. Now, I'm Alex, going back to him, I find fascinating because he took a risk, whether you know it or even he knows it. He took a major, major risk by making any sort of change, because I'm Alex got over 100,000 subs being the guy that he was up until a couple of weeks back. But sometimes, like the people who watch the train wrecks over and over and over, even getting that type of work becomes unsavory, becomes unsatisfying. It doesn't give you the same excitement that it once did. So what does it leave? It leaves the fun. You go back to it over and over because really there's only a couple things in life that really truly give you any happiness. Self-fulfillment. Filling those needs that nobody else can fill. Making a great video and knowing, hey, this isn't just going to get views because it's a trend chaser. It's going to get views because people see the passion that I put in it and they respond to me. Most people who end up following this channel, they don't do it because I'm the best wrestling knowledgeable guy in the world or that I'm good at Pokemon. We all know those things are not true about me inherently. I'm awful at those things. But they like the way that I talk about things. They like the way that I take them on. They like the way that I talk to you. And I think that's what YouTube truly is. I think that's what all forms of media are. Me being kind of a radio guy in my heart, I think that's the most important thing that you can ever really be. Is true. Balanced. Having fun. Now, I am Alex is supposed to show up. I did talk to him earlier, and I had a nice little conversation. I hope he does show up, and I like to have him on. I like to talk to him about all this, because to me, there's no clearer case of somebody just clearly having fun right now than I am Alex. And maybe there are other people in the Pokemon community or in other gaming community that have that big smile on their face and they're always happy and blah, blah, blah. But to see a guy that has kind of just altered, not changed completely, but altered the way of his delivery, the way that he views things, without really sacrificing much of who he is, I find that incredibly inspiring because it's risky. Now, you think about how many times early on in Leafy's career, if he would have changed all of the bullying tactics that he used to get to the point that where he was at, we would have never talked about him. We would never know who he was. Keemstar. Keemstar's a good example. No, I'm not bringing him up just to get people talking about, oh, Dead on Dave's talking about Keemstar. No, but you look at Keemstar, the way that he did things systematically for over 10 years. Negativity in a lot of ways, trolling, feeding on sources of drama. But if he would have ever changed that simply because he wanted to, we wouldn't be talking about him. There is a big case to be made for chasing trends. There's a big case to be made for going to extremes. There's a huge financial case to be made for chasing the big extremes of YouTube. Huge. Either positive or negative. because people can gravitate to extremes. It's the gray that people have a little bit of a harder time, most of the time, really connecting with. At least in the source of a little entertainment venue like this, because at the end of the day, we're talking into a camera, and you have to believe us one way or another. Now, it's much easier for you to believe me if I go on an extreme rant, either a positive or negative way. But if I sit here and I play everything in the middle, now that's going to absolutely play to some people, the logically minded people, but you guys probably aren't sticking around all the time anyway. But the people who are watching consistently, the guys who are going all over and leaving likes and subscriptions and all of these things, they're looking for the same thing that they've always found. They want that punch. And it's mostly children. You know, it's mostly the kids, people, I'm going to classify 22 and under. 22 and under. And now there's one final thing that I want to talk about with a lot of YouTubers that get a huge growth spurt in the negative realm of YouTube. And they find that they cap off. They find a spot, whether it be 2 million, 3 million subs, they inevitably find a cap. Mainly the reason for that is that extremist behavior, that extremist way of thinking, that constant looking to hone in on the trend or the extreme, it wears off the older your audience gets. Now, children will usually tend to trickle in no matter what. Always new babies being made, always new teenagers coming in the fray. But teenagers are flighty. So what kind of helped build an audience of teenagers 10 years ago might kind of push them away now. So you always have to be wary of that. But then there's guys like PewDiePie. PewDiePie has been around for fucking ever. And why does he remain successful? Why does he continue to get subs? Because his subs grow with him. Say what you want about PewDiePie, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. PewDiePie is having fun almost all the time. For a long time, and as he says now, because he's gotten older, he wanted to change the things that he was doing in the past. Because now he has different sensibilities. So he doesn't want to be a fake person. He doesn't want to be a fake creator. He wants to do the things that make him happy. These are his own words. People gravitate towards it. Why? Because it's easier to grasp. When it's genuine, when it's real. Extremes don't last forever. There's a case to be made, like I said, that for that short burst, that good punch of fame, going the extreme route, either positive or negative, there's a hell of a lot to be said for it. But eventually, there's only one thing to be left. The fun. So can YouTube be fun again? Yeah, I think it can. And I don't think it necessarily has to go back to the era of cat videos to do that. I think there's a way to balance all the marketing that we have now and the advertisements and the quest for money while still being true to ourselves. Because here's the reality. Most of the people who do the things that get really, really big, they're not that fucking good in the first place. They simply got there and stayed there because of the presence of social media. So now, what are you left with? When you're 30, when you're 35, when you're 40, you never made that crossover to Hollywood. You found it was a little bit harder to get into than you thought it was going to be. Where do you go back to? What are you left with? You go back to YouTube and you're left with the fun. So for me, and once again to go back to I Am Alex, to see a guy in his early 20s, a young guy, he might be younger than that, to have the success that he's had, but to see just a sudden change in the way that he presents his comedy. He took the biggest risk of anybody. And guess what? Seems to be paying off. I'm seeing a lot of comments right now that people seem to be very, very happy with what I Am Alex is doing. I see a lot of comments right now, people being very happy with what Chubbs is doing. The entire Brotherhood area, in fact, Tommy C. Yeah, he's still losing subs, but that was always going to happen anyway. It was a superficial game. They were going to come and go with the baited crowd. It just was. I mean, he had two big fan bases that helped draw people into him. So what was he left with? Inevitably, he was left with the fun. And that's it. So, can YouTube be fun again? Well, for me, it never stopped. So hopefully, more people are going to come to that conclusion, and you guys as viewers will continue to make your voices heard. Because really, you guys do drive everything at the end of the day. Whether it be me and what I'm doing or what other people are doing, it's your word of mouth. It's what you say on Twitter and in the comments section. It's what gets people talking. You guys have more fucking power than you realize that you do. It's incredible. It's mind-blowing. It's kind of awe-inspiring. YouTube is the ultimate source of choice. Upper right-hand corner, click, or subscribe and turn on your notifications to never miss another show again. That's power. You guys have it. All we do is have the power to create and either decide to chase after the easy money or be who we are. I'm Alex told a story today on his Twitter of him getting his play button. That for 6 years he toiled away in obscurity. 6 years. Toiled away. Never gained anything. Never gained any subs. It was a hobby. Then became a career. So why turn away from it in some sort? Why not continue to do what got you there in the first place? Because sensibilities tell you the older that you get, the less satisfying that it gets. The less savory it becomes. Things don't taste as good. They don't smell as good. They don't look as good. They don't feel as good. So what are you left with? You're left with the fun. There you have it. Let's take some calls on this and anything else that you might have. Hopefully IMAX will show up at some point because I'd love to get his insight on it. On like what exactly has changed for him, if anything. Maybe I'm completely fucking wrong. But I'll tell you this, if you go into Alex's video over the last couple of weeks and watch anything that he's done, there's no question in my mind that there's a change. Same thing with Tommy C. Sometimes you got to do just what makes you happy, and that's it. And hope that everybody else around you gravitates towards it. If you have a good enough personality, most of the time it'll work. If not, you might fall into obscurity. It's a very good possibility. That's completely okay either way, as long as you are happy. Like I've said since day one, whether I have one person in here or 100, you're going to get the same fucking show. Now, there are people I know in this chat right now who has been in here since day one, since day two, since Joe Cronin show, since this guy's take on it. And you guys know, nothing's really ever changed. The equipment's gotten better. I've been able to, because of the support that you guys have given, and this goes true for other people as well, you've been able to produce a better quality. But really, if you stay the same, you don't really have a lot to worry about. You just continue to be that person. So those are my thoughts. Let's take some calls, questions, comments, hopes, dreams, quips, quotes, likes, loves, anecdotes, and anything else that you might have right now on the Discord. I'm only going to stick on Discord because I don't know if and when Alex is going to show up. I hope that he does. I was going to change the thumbnail, but when I didn't hear from him, I kind of thought that maybe something else may have came up, and that's completely fine. No big deal at all. So we'll go to you guys, because you guys always have something to say. Let's go with one of the smartest guys I know at the moment. I mean this seriously. He's an asshole, but he's my asshole. Let's bring in Strangle. You're live with Dead on Day. What do you got, buddy?
I've just been thinking. I don't think YouTube's ever not been about the fun, other than for monetary gain.
That's interesting. Please continue.
And frankly, I understand the premise of this question. Can YouTube be fun again? I think there are people who enjoy it, and I think there are people who are chasing the money. I don't have a problem with either, though.
Neither do I.
And I think
you
can. And I think you can enjoy it. I think you can have fun through making. I can now improve my own personal life. I can now go and buy a bunch of Pokemon cards.
Well, yeah, that's not what we're talking about, though. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about people.
You're talking about making content, then? Or?
Yeah, that's what we're talking. We're talking
about the reason why people make content.
Yeah, in a sense. I mean, you think about it. You see all these people who end up leaving, and really, it goes back to the adpocalypse, because the adpocalypse gave people, a lot of people, reason to stop chasing because there was no more money. We talk about it all the time. How YouTube turned from one thing to another. It changed because of the business model. There was no subscription base. There was no nothing. There was no advertisements in the early days of YouTube. It just wasn't. It was a platform. And then it changed, and people could make money off of it, and people started making a shitload of money off of it, and it changed what people were doing. Now you come onto YouTube and you try to make one fucking giant video, or you try to chase one giant trend to make as much money as you can. You're not having fun. You're not doing it for the lulz. You're not doing it for the fulfillment. You're doing it for money. And not everybody's like that, of course, but a good majority in that surge when YouTube was at its height, a lot of people did, and they're all fucking gone now. That apocalypse fucking scared the shit out of people. And here's another dirty truth. If you go back and look at numbers, people were fucking leaving YouTube in droves for the past 18 months. Viewers stopped watching. Content creators were stopping making content. Why? because it's a hollow fucking experience when you're not having fun doing it. That's my point.
You know what? I suppose you're correct, but I would like to add, I don't know if with this current monetization platform, whether the primary reason can ever be for fun.
Well,
even with you, because I believe that the money is a secondary motivation.
Well, no, it's gravy.
It doesn't have.
It's gravy, is what it is. Look, money is a motivator, and it should be for everybody. I mean, bettering your situation, it should always be something that's in your mind. But here's the thing: if I'm making good money, but I'm fucking miserable. Here's the thing about me, and you know this to be true. I'm in pain all the fucking time. Constant misery. Constant fucking misery. I have a spinal cord stimulator that helps me get through my day. Without it, I stop moving. So, if I'm not having fun here, it doesn't matter how much fucking money I'm making. Because while I might be improving certain things in my family's life, I'm fucking miserable. And I don't need to be miserable. And I think a lot of people feel the exact same way, but you have to get to that point. Misery fucking compounds over time. The older that you get, especially, the more experiences you have in life, the longer you have to deal with those miseries and let them fucking build up. Money doesn't get as fucking savory as it once did. Yeah, it solves some problems, but a lot of times it creates a hell of a lot more. So that's why staying true to who you are and having a little bit more fun with it every now and then is a better way to go. Now, this isn't a broad generalization. This is a question that I pose so when people are looking at people like I Am Alex, who had a huge fucking burst of popularity being a certain type of YouTuber, who is now changing in certain ways, you can just see the happiness in him personally that you couldn't months ago. I think those are the things that I'm pointing to. It's not a generalization for everybody because there's a lot of people who've made a lot of money being miserable. But again, YouTube is a realm of extremes. We see
Very good point.
I'm a smart guy. I'm a smart guy, Strangle.
On that note, do you think content then, people having fun solely? Because I don't believe that's always the case.
Oh, no. Of course not. Absolutely not.
You can have a lot of fun. I could have a lot of fun shoving fidget spinners into my rectal cavity, but it would not be good content. It would be dog shit content.
Oh, I agree. But here's the thing, and this comes back to where the point was really being made about personally. It comes down to an individual choice, because the person who's shoving fidget spinners in his ass may never get a view, but if he truly loves the sensation of that fidget spinner in his ass, well, he's not worried if he has 500 people in the chat or not, because he's doing it for himself. He loves that little rolling sensation inside of his anus. He likes the way those little ball bearings just resonate the right way and milks his prostate. That's what he's doing it for. He's doing it for that feeling. So the amount of people don't matter.
That made me very uncomfortable just then.
Well, you know you liked it a little.
Okay, then.
You know you liked it a little. Go on, you liked
God.
it. It made you feel good. Oh, we got a donation. Speaking of money.
Dave.
Hold on 1 second. Let me get this donation out there. Veggie donated $1. I'm not reading that word. Smosh, we're hitting millions of views before it was paying. The dedication, that's dedication to entertaining. Exactly. And I Am Alex was the same way. 6 years of struggling to do anything, but he stuck with it because he enjoyed doing it. Then eventually he was able to find a foothold, find a way to be able to kind of to blow up. And I think over time, all of the wars, the fighting, the backstabbing in some cases for certain people, it takes party away. Hey, so what's left? You go back to why you did it in the first place. And is that going to make good content? No, not all the time. No. But YouTube is a cesspool of bad content. There's a lot of people who make shit content each and every single day that never even get recognized because nobody's watching it. But they continue to make it. Why? After 3-4 years, you think they're still trying to hit that one viral video? No, they're doing it because they fucking enjoy it. The girl with the terrible voice who sits in front of her fucking camera and sings every day never gets discovered. She doesn't stop because discouragement doesn't happen when you're passionate.
Okay, then. My question is then.
Yeah.
If you had no viewers, would you still, 0 viewers, if absolutely no one was seeing your content for the enjoyment factor? Mm-hmm. Because then my proposal is, what's the difference between doing it in your personal life and doing it on a live stream? Or making a YouTube video?
I did do it. I've been doing this for, you know how long I've been doing YouTube?
Sorry, I'm a bit dull on that. I have no idea.
I'm coming up on 3 years in September. You know how long I've been podcasting?
How long?
6 years. I did it
6
on
years.
places like
Pretty good.
Podbean and Podomatic. Would you like to know my lifetime views on Podbean? Because I know them.
Go on, give me.
37.
57.
37. On one of my shows I did for 2 years, 37 people watched it. And I did it for over 2 years.
And you did it for personal entertainment?
I did it because it's my therapy. Everybody gets in this.
It's
yeah,
therapeutic.
it is. This is, look, people don't, maybe you don't see me as a miserable prick or whatever, but
I don't see you as that at all, but I understand that at a past point in your life, you were
for
in
a long
room.
time I was, brother. My wife and I can't even tell you how close we were on the razor's edge for a very, very long time. 5 years ago when I started doing this shit with Tommy, really, I was almost 500 pounds and essentially just waiting for death. And I just started fucking podcasting because I needed someone to listen. Hell, if you can go farther back than that, 2010 when I was medically retired, I started a goddamn blog. I was blogging, medically retired military Dave on Blogger. True goddamn story. The only good thing that ever happened out of that, outside of me being able to get my stories out every day, was eventually it led to me writing a book, which is still available on Amazon.com, by the way, and meeting this 160-year-old Australian lady named Liz. Shout out to Liz, who I still talk to this day. Nobody read my blog. Nobody even knows it exists. But I did it every day because I absolutely loved it. And it's my therapy. So there's different reasons for everybody to get into this stuff. And sometimes it doesn't matter at all. Sometimes you do just chase. And sometimes it's going to be successful. But eventually, over time, like I said, that feeling goes away. It's not as satisfying. It's not as gratifying. It does tend to fade. Especially when you're constantly fucking fighting. Eventually, it's going to happen to a guy like Keem as well. This is why Keem constantly has all these ebbs and flows of self-destruction. Shit isn't fun to fight like that, man. Shit is not fun to fucking do that stuff. It's taxing. I had to listen to Tommy's experience, not even be involved in most of it, but I listened to it every day. It wore me the fuck out. It's stressful. It's cancer. And you know what I told Tommy? And he'll tell you this is 100% true. You know what I told him every fucking day when he was going through the worst parts of the baited stuff? You've got to find a way to have fun again. You got to find a way to have fun again. Because he wasn't for a long time. Now he is. He just laughed at a flat earther for 35 minutes.
It was fantastic. I was there. Did you know that no one has ever traversed the planet from north to south?
I don't give a shit. Good God, I love it. But these are all existential questions, you know, like motivations and drives. They're unanswerable questions because they're subjective. They're more subjective than food. Everybody else has different reasons for why they get into it. Me, I just simply want to pose a question to all of them. Can YouTube still be fun? Was it ever for you? Do you want it to be? Does it matter? Those things intrigue me. That's just me. You got anything else for me, bud?
I mean, how long have you got before you kick me off?
Oh, I'll keep you on forever. I love you.
Because I was going to talk about...
If my mouth shows up, then I got to throw you out.
Yeah, no, I understand that. You can shut me out in the cold. I don't mind. I was going to talk about, and I'm not sure if this is Tommy's show. I just came from Tommy's show, and it was talking about suicide.
Yeah, God. God, no. Oh, well. Dude, you guys bummed me the fuck out. Please don't bring the suicide conversation here.
Fuck it. I'm gone. Okay. Crime lives matter.
Well, wait, no.
Forget.
Do you want to have the exact same conversation? Because if you want to have the exact same conversation...
No, because it was a different conversation. And
okay,
as soon as he I said, thanks for having me on, and I got out. Someone brought up the topic of assisted suicide, and he thought, like, and euthanasia and that sort of thing, and he thought it was 100% wrong. And I think he's completely wrong. And I really hate that attitude towards it.
You know, the interesting thing is for me is I don't have an opinion on it. And because it's something that I could never even try to wrap my head around because it's a personal decision. If my wife was dying, I can't tell you how I would feel until it happened. Like as far as if I saw her suffering each and every single day and there was no possibility for getting better. There was no miracle that was going to save her, and somebody was offering her a way out, and she wanted to take that. I don't know if I would talk her out of it. But I don't know if I don't know if I'd get angry either. It's so hard.
Tommy believes that talking someone out of that situation would be selfish, and Tommy believes that the person killing themselves would be selfish in that situation, and I believe talking someone out of that situation would be incredibly selfish.
Here's the thing. The interesting thing is, I don't judge any of the people who would make that decision to take their lives, and I don't judge Tommy for having that belief, or anybody else. And I don't judge you for having a belief that Tommy's fucking wrong for having that belief. Because this is one of those discussions that is practically unwinnable. Because it's only how your sensibilities make you feel in the moment. And here's the thing. The kicker on this is because each situation within the suicide can be so categorically different. Every story that you tell, each one is individualized and 100% subjective to how you're feeling at the moment. It's an unwinnable argument. It's so hard. I hate.
I feel as though I somewhat agree with him in terms of suicide is selfish in certain instances.
Sure. I agree with that too.
But when used as a blanket term, and I think he kind of backpedaled on that at the end of it when people brought it up to him, me included. He said it was in certain circumstances, but I don't want to turn it into a semantic debate because it's always
going to go
like
semantics with suicide. It's always going to go to the nuance. It's unavoidable. It's unavoidable.
Fucking philosophical question worth thinking about is, do we kill ourselves or not?
Adrian Liam in the chat asks, can we talk about assisted nipple tweaking? Come on over here, big
I am all down for that. In fact, Dave, if you would have me on one day, we can make that a thing.
Oh, I would love to do that because I guarantee you got some nice nipples to tweak. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right, buddy. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the call. Really good stuff. That's why I always bring you in, because you always have good things to say. And even when you disagree with me, I think we always have a really good conversation. Sorry if I got a little bit wordy. Discussion. I'm a little juiced up right now. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling positive.
Good to know that you're enjoying it.
Yeah. Well, I think it shows. I think it shows most of the time. I think you as a viewer, when you see somebody that is doing something that their heart's not into it, how long do you stick around for that?
Well, I think it's a different circumstance with the viewers, isn't it? The viewers, I think it's only about
you guys have the ultimate power.
Yeah, it's about fun for the viewers, I believe.
Well,
it's someone looking at Keemstar's drama channel finds more entertainment in that than a fucking fidget spinner review. Sure. And I don't fault them on that.
Yeah.
Viewers,
one of the places
but for the creators, it's an entirely different story.
Well, one of the communities I started in was wrestling, here on YouTube. And there are so many different types of wrestling fans. There are certain wrestling fans who simply go to every YouTuber, no matter how they feel about them entertainment-wise, just to get different tidbits of news. It doesn't when it comes to a subject that you're passionate about, it doesn't always really matter who's saying those type of things. Sometimes to certain people, they just want to get any tidbit that they can. But then that's a minority. That's a very, very stark minority. But you do have the people who, because of the fact they can get that news from anybody, they're very loyal to the people that they really gravitate to. So it's like a thing. It's like if you're being fake and you're constantly, your heart's not in it, I feel over time, you're going to end up getting found out by the people who have the real power. Because it's not us. It's not me as a creator. I can only give you what I give you. And then you have to decide if you're going to hit the like button, the dislike button, the subscribe button. If you're going to flag me, false flag me, prank call me. If you're going to go ahead and try and take me down on Twitter. If you're going to talk to another bigger YouTuber and say this guy's ripping you off in some fashion. There's a lot of ways that you guys could destroy somebody. And not just by saying kill yourself and drink bleach in the chat. I think viewers have way more power than anybody fucking realizes.
It's just a question of why FouseyTube has an audience then.
You know why? Because he's a very good example of the extreme fucking mentality. That motherfucker, the Joey Salads, the Adam Sellas, do you think that they really fucking are passionate about the things that they're doing? Really?
It's just, it's so passionate, but he's so fakely passionate.
It's so fake. And it comes across as fake. That's why he's so polarizing, by the way. And it's also probably a good reason why he can't fucking break into mainstream fucking Hollywood. Yeah, he did a Medea movie. All right, it's a Medea movie. That's not Hollywood. That's a Medea movie. Jeez. But that's why. Hollywood is the town of phonies. If you're phony in the town of phonies and those people don't believe you're the right type of phony, well, you're fucked.
Yeah, it's just a clique of self-aggrandizing twats.
Right. Right. All right.
I think I'm probably going to go. I've taken up too much of your time.
No, I appreciate it, buddy. I'm going to bring a new show, Strange Talks with Strangle. Strange Stories with Strangle, because I love alliteration. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate the call.
Yeah, see you later.
Take it easy, man. Let's go to Will Dillon. Let's go to Will Dillon. Rodimus8 here. Rodimus8 on Twitter. Gaming Fault here on YouTube. The man from Scotland with the voice you'll never quite understand, but it doesn't matter because he's dead fucking sexy. What's up, buddy? You're live with Dead on Dave.
Hey, dude. It's just a comment on the can YouTube still be fun?
Yeah.
And I agree with you, Dave.
Well, you're a passion-based YouTuber, though. I knew you were going to agree.
Definitely, because when in 07, I had so much fun recording and then editing, like stuff that I've never done in my life. By trade, all I do is I make spectacles. That was my trade. So learning these computer things, people watch them. That was always the bonus. The subs, that's the high, if you know what I mean. You're not looking to see how far you're going to go. If people enjoy your content, people enjoy it.
Yeah. Look, money helps, man. Money fucking helps. Being successful should always be a motivation. You should never want to stay into a place just because, well, I'm happy where I am. And like I talked about earlier, that fear. Some people like staying in the exact same place that they're at because they're afraid of the responsibility that comes with getting bigger. I faced that myself. Being afraid of what my choice of content. God, you don't think I was terrified of doing Pokemon streams every day? I do them every day now. Why do you think I'm doing them? I'm certainly not chasing money. Nobody's making money.
I know you're doing it because you get some kick out of it.
Oh, I fucking love it. I'm a degenerate.
Today, Dave,
I'm a degenerate.
But watching you open that lunchbox, watching you open the lunchbox said all how passionate you are, and like even because I lost all passion for YouTube, in the sense creating, and it wasn't to do with the people watching or anything. It was just I just lost the passion. Why am I doing this? At the time, I was still working. I was working full time. Then, like me and you spoke, as soon as I fell ill, it became the hobby again. Yeah. Okay, I'll get into it. And before you know it, but then you meet the friendly side to it, like see yourself, the community, where everybody sticks together and it's the fun doing it every day. You can just have fun.
The people that you grow around you is quite amazing. And you guys know how much this community means to me. And you guys, the way you support me and support each other, it's fucking amazing. But it's pretty incredible when you start looking at certain people and the individualized choice that they have to make, just because if they're going to give into the fear of continuing or not, it's crazy. I was going to say something, I can't remember what it was, but like Lord Vegas said in the chat, fear nothing. You can't live your life by fear. You can't live your life in those very binary rules of success and failure. I mean, I'm a firm believer, and I know on YouTube this is a stupid thing to say, but I am a firm believer in the cream always rises to the top. And when people ask me of what should I do on YouTube, I want to start creating, the first thing, and I think you've probably heard me say this because I may have even said it to you, find something that you're passionate about.
Definitely.
Because if you have that base and you can get people to sit with you for a few minutes and just connect with you, well, there's a good chance that's going to grow. And sometimes it might take 4, 5, 6, 7 years. But the continuation of doing that, Chris Rock has one of my favorite quotes in all of entertainment that I've ever heard in my life. He thinks, and I agree with him, that the ability to speak and hold people's attention, not 1 or 2, but on a scale, say even 80 people like we have right now, to be able to hold people's attention for long periods of time with simply your ability to speak and tell stories is a superhuman ability. It's freakish. It's freakish. It's so difficult to do. It's literally one of the hardest things to do on this planet. I feel that I'm not in that elite category of like a Kevin Smith or anything like that, and I never claimed to be. But I have a little bit of ability to be able to connect with people, and I appreciate that. But there are people on this planet, like Kevin Smith, who could sit there and just tell stories about fucking rectal warts, and you just can't stop listening. There's something about it. There's something about the way he speaks. What is different than Tiger Woods' ability, or used to be ability to hit a golf ball 300 yards perfectly and split the fairway? What's the difference between that and Nolan Ryan being able to fucking perfectly place a 97, 98, 99 mile an hour fastball? What's the difference in that between Michael Jordan being able to hit a goddamn three-pointer in the clutch or win a game in Game 7 or just put up 56 points on the Knicks whenever the fuck he wanted? There is no difference. It's an ability. Some abilities can be cultivated and grown over time, but really you've got to have some sort of basis, foundation, personality, strength. I heard Ace Trainer Liam talk about this earlier, as a matter of fact, on his stream, on his live stream on Twitch. I heard him talk about this very same thing, about people talking about his stuff from before to where it is now. And he called himself boring. His old videos back in the day were boring. And he was talking about how over time, he just started to become more himself. He just started, it became okay for him to be himself. And I'm sitting there and I wrote this in the chat. I don't know if he saw it or not, but I wrote this in the chat that's like that with everybody who creates. Because when you're creating and you do get a little bit of semblance of success, whether it be 1,000 subs, 2,500 subs, whatever the case may be, you get some donations, you start, things start to feel good. You start questioning how far you should push things, where you should go with it. Should you go beyond what you typically are? Do you have the confidence to be yourself?
Yeah.
So I found that pretty poignant. I'm going to bring him in a second too.
No,
anything else you got?
No, I was just going to say this just before Liam comes in. I know I totally agree with you. Right back at the start when I used to talk into the microphone, fair enough, my equipment was shit. I used a Rock Band microphone to record with. But even if you go back to some of my old videos and listen to me talk, I sound like a robot.
Right. Hey, you learn.
Project myself. I know the running. The running joke is I can't talk. I know that myself, but
I still haven't understood a word. I still haven't understood a word you said this entire call, but that's okay, because I love you anyway. I love your face.
That's okay. I know you've got a Google Translator open for me. And it's just
I have a Scottish deaf person who is actually signing to me because I know sign language. No, I don't. Actually, I don't. I don't want anyone to think I do. I fucking don't. I have a deaf cousin and I don't know sign language. I'm a horrible human being. All right, well, you have a good night, buddy.
No worries.
Thank you.
Thanks, dude. Thank you.
No problem. Let's bring in, since I was just talking about him, he is going to jump the line as I was just talking about him a second ago. Ace Trainer Liam, as long as he unmutes his fucking microphone. Come on there, buddy. Come on. Hit that unmute button.
God damn.
There he is. Listen to him.
I hate Discord. I've said this before on fucking your show as well. I hate Discord.
Well, I had a giant fucking YouTuber who was supposed to call in tonight, so I was keeping it on Discord, but he stood me up.
We're not all as reliable as me.
Yes, you're always here. What's up, Al?
I'm the little fish. I first want to say, just generally, I fucking love Gaming Fault. Fucking love every contribution he makes, right? Like, you talk about people being down to earth in the community. He's the fucking definition of it.
Fuck. You ain't kidding.
Mate.
You ain't kidding.
So shout outs to him. But no, like, I thought it was interesting. Obviously, we're talking about, can YouTube still be fun?
Yeah.
And like you said in my stream earlier, we were talking about sort of similar things about like transitioning from being who you think people want you to be to just relaxing and being yourself. And I suppose I kind of want to throw my 2 cents into it because obviously I'm in kind of not a unique position, but I'm in a weird position on YouTube in that it is now my full-time job. I don't do anything else. I just do YouTube all day, every day. But I don't earn the big money that, like the bigger YouTubers make. So like I'm quite happy to say I make less than the UK minimum wage.
Jesus.
So the correct thing for me to do, the sensible thing for me to do is go out, find myself a 9-to-5 or find myself like an extra part-time job to make more money. But the truth of the matter is, I just don't want to do that because not because I'm lazy or anything like that, but because
it's a good life.
The jobs out there aren't fun. Whereas the job I'm doing in my house right now is fucking fun.
So you're taking a risk.
I do three to four videos a day of different series and different playthroughs and stuff. And like,
oh yeah, you're always uploading. Yeah.
This isn't me plugging my own channel. This is just like I do that every single day, and people obviously come to me and they go, "Do you never get bored of Pokemon? Like, you're doing so much Pokemon stuff, and you commit to streaming so many times a week and stuff." And I'm like, if it wasn't fun, I'd stop it tomorrow.
Right.
The fact that I enjoy what I do puts me in kind of almost like an overprivileged position, because I get up, I have fun, and I earn a minimal living off it. So I can keep ticking along. You know, if one day it picks up and it gets bigger, then, you know, bully, that's a bonus. But I'm living quite I'm not going to say comfortable life with it, but I'm living a life. I think.
Content.
And it's like you say, if you go to a job that you hate every single day, for me, you're not living a life. Right. You're living someone else's business, basically.
Well, and there's a lot to be said for living that type of life. Look, not taking chances and being responsible is not necessarily a knock. It's not necessarily
not at all. Like Jesus.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I'm uniquely positioned to be able to say the things that I'm saying. I'm medically retired. I get a check from the Army. It's not a lot, but it's enough to where when I add into what you guys and all the donators and such, and a little bit of money I get from fucking YouTube, it's enough to be able, I can feel good about what I'm doing, because I can say to my wife, who's the real fucking hero of my family, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm contributing, and I feel a little bit better about myself. But even then, my wife knows my situation, so I'm uniquely positioned to be able to have this type of attitude towards it. Not everybody can, because responsibilities are fucking real, man.
I'd tip my hat. I tip my hat to fucking anyone that can go out and do something they hate every single day and go, this isn't okay for me, but I have to do this.
Right.
Like I give people credit for that because like I'm a real person. I've been there. Like,
sure.
The story I always tell people is when I used to be a dispensing optician, which was like 8 years of my life. Once I finally qualified as that, I thought it was going to be, I'm the most qualified person. I'm going to be front of house, taking all the orders, being the wealth of knowledge. I was the complaints department.
Oh God.
That's what I ended up being. So every time some of the like underqualified people who could only like process orders and things because I was classed as being their supervising, even though I'm doing my own shit, their mistakes would lead to customers coming to me every single day shouting at me. Like, they're angry because they can't see through what they've been sold and they've spent £400 or £500 on. I'm the guy that takes the fucking brunt of that. And I had to sit there every day, just constantly.
Wow,
I'd have appointments booked for me, people shouting at me all day long. And because of the way the way it is with dispensing opticians in the UK, over the years, people coming out of the full-time because there's two ways of doing it. This is a little bit boring, but there's two ways of doing becoming a dispensing optician. You either do what I did, which is distance learning. So you do everything from home study-wise, and then do a couple of exams and a couple of tests and things and practical exams, and then you become a dispensing optician. But the whole time you're working in a store, you're getting to know the business.
Right.
Or you can do the full-time university course, in which sense you're at school all week effectively. Yeah. Then you get thrown into the real world with the people who are actually working. And because you don't have any knowledge of how much work you're supposed to be putting in, they come out of school, out of university, and they go, this person's offering me £13,000 a year to be a dispensing optician. That's great. I've never earned that much money. I'll take that. When we should be earning like 25K plus. So over the years, the amount you can get as a dispensing optician has come down because people are like, oh, well, we can just get these fresh out of university students and pay them less. So why should we pay you more?
They settle. You know, people will settle.
Yeah, exactly. So that was the problem there, is I could probably deal with getting shouted at all the time, but it's the fact that I was being underpaid to do it as well that really drove a hole in my fucking brain.
Things, yeah. And so eventually, you know, people who are found in those positions, or people who maybe are just not getting fulfilled, you know, on a personal level, even if they are making good money, you've got to determine when you want to take that risk. And that was what I was talking about earlier as well. Taking a risk, whether it be changing your format. Look, I know this goes back to me sucking your dick because I do it a lot. I don't give a shit. If you
I'm
change
ready.
your content, let's say you change your content, you decide to go after some money chasing stuff. You have a great enough look, personality, and speaking ability where you could fucking make bank doing certain, especially in commentary community, especially if we're talking a year and a half ago. But I don't think it would personally fulfill you. I know I got to know you well enough to where I see you being miserable with that shit.
Well, like a good example of that is, a good example of the contrast of like the person that does the whole responsibility thing and just does a job they hate all the time. Yeah. The guy that taught me everything I know, I'm not going to give his full name, but his name was Howard. He has been a dispensing optician for the better part of 40 years, doing the exact same thing I was doing. And I know I've seen him in one of the stores in town, and he's still fucking going at that grind. And I have nothing but respect for that man, because he is like, he's living what would be my fucking nightmare at this point. Like, more power to people that can do that. Like, I will never sit here as a YouTuber and be like, oh, I'm so much better than everybody else because I get to do what I love every day. It's like, no, I have so much fucking respect for the people, because the people who are doing these jobs with these responsibilities are the same people donating to me saying, we love your content. It helps us get through these fucking shit days that we have. We have our shit days at work and we come home and watch you. And that's the humbling side of it. But
that's the big side of it too. I think that's the most important thing that people forget. It goes back to the whole fun question. What we're doing on YouTube, I think people do not take into consideration nearly enough. This is kind of a dream in a lot of ways. Tommy and I were talking about this offline the other day.
Oh, too fucking right.
Because what we're doing, it's a form of entertainment, whether people want to acknowledge that in the mainstream media or whatever. Fact is...
Oh, you're just playing computer games all day, mate.
Right. But for the course of this show, we've averaged between 75 and over 100 fucking people. I can fucking... do you know how much that tickles me to know that 75 to 100 people have gotten even a little bit of entertainment or a kick or thought-provoking anything out of what we're doing?
We were talking about this at Comic-Con at the weekend in London. There's a couple of guys called Luke and James from a small channel called Luke and James Plays. They've got like 315 subs.
Yeah.
But we were saying to them, you might not feel like you've got a lot of subscribers, but imagine being in a room with those 315 people, standing in front of them and trying to give like a speech or talk to them. And you'd be like, damn, I've got all their attention, 300 people. It's insane.
Yeah. How many pictures did you get to take while you were at Comic-Con this weekend? How many people came up to you and said that they liked what you do?
Well, I mean, to be honest, I probably only bumped into like 20 people that knew who I was.
Feel every time.
Oh, fucking amazing that people watch my fucking content. Right. A girl, I don't know if you saw the pictures on Instagram, but one of my female fans brought me one of those bead art things, but she'd made my face out of it.
That was incredible.
And it's bigger than my actual face. It's incredible. The time that goes into something like that. And you think just because I've been sat here talking into a microphone and like waving into a camera for a few hours a week, I say a few, quite a few hours a week. But speaking of which, you did pretty well yesterday, fucking 11 and a half hours.
I know. I couldn't quite get to that 12-hour mark because I rubbed fucking instant regret in my eyes. Jesus.
Oh, you actually rubbed it in your eyes, and I fucking
didn't mean to. I didn't get paid for it. No, I'm just a fat idiot.
You absolute.
I'm just a fat idiot who just forgot to clean his hands. I was sitting there talking, and I was like I was winding down anyway, and then I rubbed my eye. I was like, oh fuck, there was some no, and it just. Then I did it again.
I'm gonna have to leave, guys.
Yeah, it was bad, man. Well, it hurt. So I did like the last 3 minutes with my eyes closed.
To get back to what you were on about in terms of like just changing up content and stuff, I get asked all the time by like my younger viewers and stuff, oh Liam, are you ever going to play Minecraft? Are you ever going to play Roblox? They have Pokemon Minecraft and they have Pokemon Roblox, and A-Drive plays it and so plays it, and I'm like, I can't do that.
Can't do it.
Ever since Minecraft came out, and Roblox is a very similar game from what I can tell, I've never seen the appeal of it.
Yep.
And obviously there's the whole, there are certain YouTubers associated with that kind of content that we don't talk about.
Yeah, they may or may not be associated with the same people who like certain things in the Catholic Church, but we won't say anything like that.
And I'm just kind of like, I don't want to play a game that I begrudge playing because I just don't like it. For the sake of I don't get me wrong. If I started playing it, then by all means, the views would come rolling in because kids are always looking for Minecraft videos. But I just can't physically bring myself to sit doing something that's going to bore me shitless for 40 hours a week.
Now look, there's a lot of cases that can be made for what you could do with that money and how much easier to make your life be. But if it's soul sucking, and you look again, you could easily go back and do what you were fucking trained to do.
Exactly. Like I've got a fucking degree sitting in a cupboard.
Right. So you might as well do that. You know, it's people.
And it comes back.
When are you gonna play this? When are you gonna play that? I'm like, I'm done with all of that, man. I wasn't having.
It comes back to it comes back to the original question in the title, which is, can YouTube still be fun? And YouTube is fun, and it's fun for me, but only because I'm choosing to do the things that I find fun.
Exactamundo.
Like the monetization side is great, and if it carries on, it's fantastic. If it ends, I'll have to do something like, you know, go and get a real job, or I mean, the River Derwent's pretty close to where I am, so I could just fucking jump in there with concrete slippers. But
not the worst idea in the world sometimes. I mean,
not the worst idea, do you know what I mean? It'd get me on Drama Alert. The ironic thing is, as well, my views would increase.
Pokemon fuck kills himself in river. He'd just say your name wrong too, probably, or Scarce would.
Oh yeah. I'd be Ace Trainer lame. No, Scarce would do me well. He'd be like, he's a big YouTuber, over 100,000 subscribers.
You guys may not know Ace Trainer Liam. He's a fairly big YouTuber, but he's in the Pokemon community. He's got 115,000 subs. Well, anyway, he's got the blue hair. And what the fuck are you talking about, Scarce? Oh, my God.
No, I don't want to knock Scarce too much because, like,
oh, I do.
Well, like Lydia always tells you, like, she knows when I'm going for a shit because she hears from the bathroom, hey, what's up, guys? It's Scarce here.
Oh, you watch him on the toilet every day?
I watch him while I'm on the toilet because it masks the sound, you know?
Yeah.
But no, the only thing I would say against him, this is really off topic, is just I feel like he goes into a story and it's just starting to get rolling, and then he goes, and also what happened today is someone else did this, and you're like, dude, where's the rest of that story?
He doesn't know the rest of the story. He has no idea what the rest of the fucking story is.
It almost sounds like he had more to say, but he just went, nah, that'll do. Let's cover that.
It's Scarce is a fucking unique animal, man. He really is.
Oh man, but you know, I'm not ashamed to say I'm fucking subscribed to him and that I watch him when he uploads. So, but then the same thing. I think it was either you or no, it was Tommy yesterday was saying like he still watches Drama Alert because beef aside, it's still fun to watch.
Oh, he's entertaining. You know, the thing is, I haven't watched any of that. I haven't watched Drama Alert. I haven't watched Scarce, anything in weeks. Really around the same time that I started fucking really getting into this Pokemon stuff again as far as the cards. I just, you know, I've always played on this channel, but I've never opened the cards. There's something about this fucking treasure hunt, man.
You're focusing on what's fun.
Oh, it's a blast.
To the original point, you're focusing on the stuff that you're enjoying. Like, who gives a shit if Jacob Sartorius is beefing with the Cash Me Outside girl? Like, you can go and catch a fucking shiny Rattata, man.
Exactly. You know, so it always goes back to that question: can it be fun if you choose it to be? Because what's left at the end of the day? What's left? Your fucking personal satisfaction. That's all it comes down to.
I feel like I'm here to live my life, and I know obviously there are the service jobs and stuff, the jobs that are out there that people do every day that they hate, they're necessary because someone's got to do them.
Sure.
But I personally just can't do that anymore. I just want to do what's fun, and if I can make money doing what's fun, I'm gonna make money, right?
You are so lucky to live in this time frame. We all are, because we have options that people didn't have 50 years ago. We have options people didn't have 30 years ago. 20 years ago.
Every day when I wake up and I check my real-time statistics and I look at it and I'm like, right, I've made enough views in the last 48 hours that I'm going to get a decent amount of money for the last 2 days. Cool. That's great. I'm going to be able to eat this month. That's fine. I don't have to go out in the real world and do something I hate. But I don't sit there like arrogantly like, oh, this is fantastic. Like, I'm so great. You know, it's nothing like that. It's like
masturbate to the view count.
I wake up and I look out the fucking window and I'm thankful. I'm appreciative of everybody that's in my fucking community and that's in the YouTube community as a whole. Because if people weren't watching YouTube, I wouldn't be doing this.
Oh, fucking A right.
You know, I'd be out there like hating every single day. All right, I'd be doing it alongside everybody and like, you know, we could all mull in together, but
YouTube is the perfect platform for dreamers. It's the perfect platform. Because the people 20 years ago, 30 years ago, that wanted to fucking break out of their 9-to-5 doldrum and all that, people who were just wanted to kill their bosses or go home and even worse, kill their fucking wives because their goddamn terrible lives every single day. Now, those same people who had a dream, now they have something that you can pursue. We live in that time period where it's so easy. Hey, you know what? I could do that. I could sing a little bit. Let me turn on the camera and let's see what the fuck happens. It's basically risk-free. And if you want to put more into it, well, then you could take that risk as you see necessary. That's fucking amazing to me. That's mind-blowing.
Exactly. I mean, I think back to when I started out, and I watched a few videos from guys like Jay Witz and Dookie Shed, some of the bigger like Pokemon YouTubers.
Dookie Shed.
He's a fucking legend, but I definitely recommend him.
It's a great name.
Not that he needs me to recommend him. Jesus Christ. I think he's at like 400K or 500K at this point.
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Watching guys like that. In fact, Dookie Shed did a vlog. I think it was around the around Thanksgiving of 2014. And he was talking about how he just recently quit his job because he makes enough money on YouTube to survive and everything like that. And he was talking really passionately about it. And that was kind of the trigger for me. I've been thinking about like making like YouTube videos and stuff, but that was the trigger for me to go, do you know what? There's no chance you'll make any money on this platform, but look how much fucking fun he's having. Right. Look how passionate he is. Why don't I start trying to do something like this? Let's see if I can make a few videos. It might be fun. Like I was living at a point where, in fact, this is a good testament to how fun YouTube is. Before I started YouTube and I was doing the dispensing optician stuff, I was working 9 to 5 or whatever it was, coming home, and I had no hobbies. I liked professional wrestling. I didn't consider it a hobby, though. I liked watching like sitcoms and things like that. Didn't consider it a hobby. It wasn't an interest. It was just something I was kind of like, yeah, I'll do this. This is kind of cool. Whereas with YouTube, I thought I'll give it a try. These guys that I watch and that I enjoy are really passionate about it. Something must be good. You know, it can't just be the money side of it that makes them so passionate. So I make a few videos. Even like for the first 8 months, I got no fucking traction. Like I was literally, pulling in 2-3 views a day. But I get the occasional comment saying, "You're doing good stuff. I'm enjoying this." And it felt really good. And suddenly I found myself wanting to make more videos, wanting to edit more videos. And it has turned into a hobby. Even before, like I say, for that first 8 months, I wasn't making any money, but I was still considering it a hobby because it was fun. Yeah. And I was sat at work every day, getting all the shit, getting all the complaints. But then I was thinking to myself, oh, what video can I make tonight? Right. This is going to be loads of fun. Like,
That's when you know that you have something. When you're doing something that you're supposed to do, but you're thinking about what you want to do.
Exactly.
And that's all.
I finally found something that gave me actual pleasure. Like, apart from the usual one-handed
vagina.
Oh, yes.
Vagina. George Carlin once said, and this is just to go to your
fucking George Carlin, mate.
One of my favorite philosophers of all time, George fucking Carlin, because he always tends to be right. What he said about interest in hobbies, like, interests are free. Hobbies, you tend to have to put money into. So it's like when you have an interest in something, you're just watching it. You're really not putting anything into it. But when you have a hobby, like for most YouTubers, it is a hobby. You put something into it. It's not really a job until you kind of get rid of all your other responsibilities to pursue it full time. So there's 3 different steps into it. You can like something, you could be an enthusiast, then you can become a hobbyist. And then hopefully one day, if you're good enough, if enough people gravitate towards you, you're a professional.
And to be fair, like out of the 3 categories of people when it comes to YouTube, who are the full-time YouTubers, the people who do YouTube all the time, the people who work full-time but would love to be making YouTube videos, and then the people who work full-time and also work on a YouTube channel in most of their free time, that category of people are the people I have the most respect for, because I've been there and it's fucking hard.
Yeah, it is.
Coming home from work, like, everybody who works knows how fucking hard it is. When you come home from work, you don't want to do anything. You barely even have the energy to cook dinner so that you can get sustenance to wake up the next day. But then to sit down, maybe eat dinner real quick, and then go, right, it's time to get to work again on my other project. I fucking have so much respect for those people because it is exhausting.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. Jesus Christ.
You gotta pursue it. It's either choose to or you don't. It's live your life the way you want to, or live your life the way that you're told that you have to.
Exactly. But 100% YouTube can be, and at least is for me, still fun.
Yeah, there you go.
Always.
I'm going to try and take a couple more callers, my friend, and I'm going to wrap this bitch up. I appreciate it, and I will see you later on in the week. We're going to do something else. If not...
I still need to check your DM, but I'll get round to it.
Fair enough. All right, man. Just let me know.
I've got some work to do, Dave.
Get on that shit, mate.
Oh, yes.
That was awful. I apologize for that. That was not good.
Can you apologize to my entire country, please?
I can, but I'm not going to.
Fucking
because,
racist.
We won the war. We won the war, so I'm not apologizing for shit. All right.
America.
Fuck yeah. All right, buddy. Take it easy.
Catch you later, dude.
Take it easy. Ace Trainer Leah, make sure you check him out, man. The best fucking Pokemon guy on the platform, hands down. Let's take a couple more callers, and then we'll get up out of here. Canabro, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
Hey, Dave.
What's up, bud?
My understanding is that you live your life in constant pain because of some damage you sustained in the army.
Yeah, I got hurt in Iraq.
I got hurt at work. Not as exciting.
Yeah, pain is pain, brother. Ago. Pain is pain. Thank you for the donation in the super chat. I appreciate that, guys. I see you. I see you. I see you. Go ahead, get it, bro.
So I've just got to the point where I've now been told that I'm going to have to learn to live with a pain that's really debilitating. I have issues walking. I have issues sitting. I have issues standing. But I have to jump between the three of them all the time in order to get some sort of relief from the pain. And I'm just wondering how you learned to live with your constant pain.
You know, it comes to a point where it's acceptance. It's like with anything. The longer you are at something, the longer that it becomes a reality, the more that you can't really deny it anymore. It becomes the point where you have to fucking make a choice. Make a choice of either giving into it, and for a long time I did and was miserable and just fucking chose not to try to find anything to bring me joy or happiness, or you find something that gives you meaning, that gives your life a little bit of pleasure. You find your smile once a fucking day. That's what I started having to do. I found my smile once a day, and it really started with podcasting and YouTubing, and then I went from there. I had to find something to jumpstart it. So that's what it was for me. It can be a choice. Look, misery may not be a choice because it's always there to give into it, but just finding a way to be happy, at least for a fleeting fucking moment a day, certainly is a choice. And it's one that everybody can make. Unless you're mentally ill. Then if you're mentally ill, I don't know.
I don't think I'm mentally ill quite yet.
See that laugh right there? That little bit of a laugh, that semblance of a smile, whatever you get from it. That's enough to hang on to. I know that sounds corny as fuck. Trust me. I know how fucking corny that sounds. But it's true. And, you know, Jesus Christ, you think about it. If you're in pain the entire fucking day and you can point to the one point in that day where maybe that was your first laugh that you had all day. Isn't that something that you're going to remember tomorrow? What was that joke that made me laugh? What did that fat idiot say? What did that fat idiot say that made me chuckle at the end of that show? And then you'll recount it and you might chuckle again. I think that's powerful. I think that has meaning, you know? That's just my opinion.
I guess I'm at the point where I'm 6 months in, and it's been, you know, jokes and hope for the entire time. And I'm, you know, 6 months in, I'm sort of having a harder time finding those laughs and these happier times.
It's going to be
just because it's starting to seem dismal.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, people talk about the tunnel and there being a light in the end of the tunnel. And what do you do when you realize there is no light at the end of the tunnel, or you'll never be able to reach that light? It just comes down to acceptance. Some people are going to be able to accept it, and some people are not going to be able to accept it. And the people that are not, they're going to have to find something else. When you do accept it, though, when you realize that there is nothing that can or will make your pain any better in any way, shape, or form, your brain instinctively is going to find other ways to compensate. It's just a fucking matter of life. You know, it's just a fact. And it'll happen eventually. And if not, then other things will take place. Your body will compensate in other ways. You know, maybe you'll start eating and you don't really realize it. You'll start smoking. You'll find other things to take edges off. It's just part of it. One way or another, you're going to find something that's going to fill those holes. And it might not always be your choice. So if you have the ability to have the conversation, then you have the ability to try to maybe come to that realization a little bit sooner and accept what your fate might be, so you can try to find a way to be happy within your new reality. That's what I had to do. So,
okay.
Thanks, that was depressing
really
as fuck, though. Yeah, it's always fun talking about pain and misery. Let me take some other callers. Canterbury, you got anything else before I get you
No,
out of
man,
here?
that's everything. Get back to your show, man. Hope
right, man.
Alex shows up.
All right, me too. Well, I don't see it happening. We're almost done, but I appreciate it. Have a good night, buddy. Let's go to Jay Walker. Jay Walker, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got? Jay Walker. Jay Walker, you're live with Dead on Dave. How we tried. Let's go to Fall is Crazy. You're live with Dead on Dave. What you got? Fall is crazy. Come on, Fall. What you got, buddy? All right. Well, on that note, looks like we are done. Try Jay Walker one more time. Jay Walker, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got? All right. Well, there you go. I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Unfortunately, I'm Alex. Did not show up. That's why I didn't put his name in the chat or in the thumbnail. Wasn't sure if he was going to show or not. It's okay that he didn't. Hopefully, everything's going on okay with him. Big shout out to the chat, all you flat earthers out there. As long as you find you're happy, I don't care if the earth is flat or round. Doesn't bother me one bit. But I'm glad you guys are having fun. Thank you for all the views, and thank you for all the interaction on the video. And thank you for the super chat donations. You guys are fucking awesome. So here's what I'm going to do for you guys. Since you're here with me, and you guys donated in the chat, we do something special. We're going to open up the card cam. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to open up that card cam. In fact, I'm going to open a whole another major big card cam. And we're going to open up a pack of Pokemon cards for your enjoyment. Because whether the earth is flat or round, there is one thing we can all fucking agree on, babies. That it's fucking great to open up Pokemon cards. So let's open a pack, shall we? Let's do it. Let's see here. Let's see if the Pokemon give a shit if the world is flat or round. This is a German pack of Pokemon cards. Sun und Mond. Stunde der Wache. All right, so let's do it. Let's do this thing. For those of you guys who play, I don't know if Flat Earthers play Pokemon or not, but if you play the Pokemon online trading card game, now you have a free code. So go ahead and get your free code on, you Flat Earthers, you fucking beautiful people. How many Flat Earthers are women? That's what I want to know. 1, 2, 3, and 4 is the card trick. And let's see what we got. Are we going to pull a big one? Let's see if we pull a big one. Let's do it. All right. We got a energy card. We got a Hala. We got a Sudowoodo. We got a very inappropriately dressed preteen. We have something you drink beer out of. An aggressive looking tentacle. We have a sex ed doll. We have a pretentious looking fish. We have an aggressive looking fish. Here is your reverse hollow Machop taking you to the gun show. And oh shit! Oh my god, I can't believe I just wasted this on fucking Flat Earthers. Holy shit, I didn't record it. Oh my god, it's one of the rarest fucking cards in the entire... Holy ballsack. That's one of the rarest cards in the entire fucking set. Holy shit, will you look at that. You Flat Earthers just got some fucking serious love Pokemon style, guys. You see this shit? Flat or round, here's something that we can agree on. This card is fucking amazing. That's what we can agree on. Hit that dislike button. I love it, man. Thank you very much for your likes, your dislikes, your fucking loves, your hates. It's fucking great. You know why we pulled this card? Because the world is flat. There you go. Maybe that's exactly why. So there you go. Is Pokemon flat? Is Johto flat? I have no idea. So Flat Earth, hit that like button, Flat Earthers. Hit that like button for this Hala. And Hala, if you hear me. Wow, one of the rarest fucking cards in the whole set. That's amazing.
Oh, maybe it's good that you gave me the last 8 packs out of the box.
That's amazing. I didn't record it locally, son of a bitch. All right. So there you go. You Flat Earthers, you guys just gave me the power of Hala. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Hit the fucking like button, you Flat Earth fucks. Let's do it. Okay, thank you guys very much for joining us right here on Dead on Dave Productions. I can't fucking believe I just pulled that card. I can't believe I just fucking pulled that card. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And you know what? I'm glad that I was able to do it for you, the flat earth population. It's good for me. Was it good for you? I don't know. We'll see you next time right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you next time. And remember, guys, you always have the choice of whether or not YouTube is fun for you. And if you create, make sure that you just do what you want to do and don't worry about all the other bullshit. Everything else falls into place, kind of like the spinning of a ball. I don't know. We'll see you next time, guys. Keep it copious. And if you don't have talent, have talented friends. See you next time. And peace.